Hi everyone, Dave here, back with another video. First off, apologies if there's a little background noise. It's D&D night here at the apartment, so we have people playing. Um, but I just wanted to make a video because it's time for me to make another one. And I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to talk about this time, but I just wanted to give a little discussion on a series that I've been reading that I really enjoy. And I wanted to talk about it with y'all today. Things have been kind of crazy. I'm moving again, so I'm starting to pack. And I'm very excited about the move. It's my first apartment by myself, which is a big step and very exciting for me. Um, but I'm very excited for what it means for the channel because I'll be able to record more often and do bigger stuff. So I have some ideas of how I want to kind of take the next step in the Davey Doughboy channel. So yeah, that'll be fun. But anyway, I I wanted to talk about a comic or a series that I've been reading called Batman Wayne Family Adventures. Um, it's a webtoons series. I'm not a big webtoons guy, or at least I wasn't before. Um, when it comes to reading comics and manga and whatever, I like to have physical material so that I have, so that I feel like I not only own the product that I purchase, but I can come back to it. I like how stuff looks on shelves. I like physically being able to flip a page and come back to something if I miss it, and it just feels nice. But um, so any sort of digital medium, including webtoons, was something that I had been not really interested in. But I started playing the mobile game for Tower of God, which is actually pretty good. And I wanted to learn more about the characters, so I started reading the Tower of God series on Webtoons, and then that led me to read the Batman Wayne Family Adventure series because I had seen a video that Comic Drake, pretty big comic YouTuber here on YouTube, did, and I was like, oh yeah, there's that thing that I heard about. So I started reading it myself, and to be honest, for a you know a fan made webtoons comic, it's really good. It's legitimately really good. I have no medium to go off of. I can't show you anything just because, again, it's a digital thing. But I just want to talk a little bit about it and why I think it's really worth a read, and especially for free. It's free. It's all just on Webtoons. It's free. Um, First off, the amount of characters that they're able to cram into this series is pretty great. I mean, you have, of course, Batman, the whole Bat family, Robin's included. And the extended uh, people, Batwing, um, Signal, Orphan, Spoiler. You have people that I've never heard of. Bluebird, I've never heard of Bluebird before. I don't know much about them. But it just goes to show it's good writing too, because you have all of these characters, but they all come into play in believable ways in these little kind of snippet sort of episodic scenarios. Um, where it's believable, and it doesn't feel like this person's here and then this person's here and then this person's here. It feels well written enough to where these characters belong in these stories with one another, if that makes any sense. But the writing is one thing that I really wanted to shout out, because this feels like it could be an actual licensed DC product because of how strong the writing is. It's definitely more comedic through and through. I think seeing a different side of Batman, but not only Batman, but most of the Bat family. Dick Grayson's a little silly, and Tim Drake can be a little silly as well. But a lot of these characters, for the most part, are a little more grim, a little more serious, and it's fun to see this kind of jovial, take on these characters, especially Batman. Like Batman himself, Bruce Wayne, is not a happy-go-lucky, silly guy. So it's very unique and interesting to see a series where he's kind of a funny goofball sometimes. It's a very nice twist, and it can sometimes come across as a tad corny, but at the end of the day, comic books as a whole are by definition corny. So that's really not a fault on Wayne Family Adventures at all. That's just the nature of comic books, is it can sometimes be corny. I mean, you have grown people dressing up in costumes. That's a little lame. I mean, it's obviously not lame, but you know what I mean. Like, it can be a little like corny sometimes. But again, that's why they're fun. At least in my opinion, that's why comic books are fun, because they're silly. And as much as we can take it seriously, it's takes the stories and characters like Bruce Wayne and Jason Todd and whoever seriously. It's nice to see them kind of loosen up a little bit. So that's fun. And again, it's believable. It's like some of these stories are legitimately funny. I'm sitting there like scrolling through my phone, like laughing. Like it's legitimately like good, well written humor. And as someone who enjoys comedy and who does like stand up and everything, like I appreciate some good, well written humor. So, and this comic knocks it out of the park when it comes to that. But also there are some pretty earnest moments. You've got characters for it being mostly a comedy. It also can tackle some pretty interesting stuff. You've got characters dealing with the Robins, dealing with are they good enough to follow in the footsteps of the ones that came before. You've got Batman dealing with, am I good enough to not only be Batman but to also be a father to all these children that I've adopted now, and to make sure that they're getting the best life that they can, because I put them in crime fighting at such a young age. Was that the right decision? You've got Orphan, dealing with, well, I was trained to be a weapon. How do I open up to these people who I now consider my family and my brothers and my sisters? I was trained to be this silent weapon, and now I have people that care about me and love me. How does that work? You know, uh, it really everything. Like, there's a lot of like inner turmoil that these characters go through that I think is explored really well, and especially for a webtoons comic that's each episode is like you can get done reading it in a couple minutes. So to have all of these sometimes pretty heavy topics tackled in such a respectful and a unique way, and in a really well done way, is like, it's just really good writing. I mean, for one that stuck out to me very heavily was there was I forget which number it was, but one of the episodes had Jason Todd. He had a panic attack because he was working on his bike, and Stephanie went to grab a wrench, and she scraped it across the ground, and it reminded him about the Joker scraping across the crowbar on the ground the night that he took Jason's life, and that sent him into a panic attack. And it was legitimately, honestly, one of the most realistic depictions in like writing of a panic attack I think I've ever seen. Like, the way that the art, and I've been shouting out the writing this whole time, but the art as well is really well done. The colors are vibrant, the characters are really well, like their facial expressions are really well drawn and animated. You can really tell what a character is feeling, like from the sometimes even the lack of facial features can give that face of confusion, or like, again, relaying it to this Jason Todd episode, the way that the art is kind of shifty, and the colors are melding apart, and it's very sporadic, and it's almost like it's scribbled on there and stuff, and it's a very like legitimately real depiction of a panic attack. And then you've got Bruce talking to Jason like taking him through like a grounding exercise, or something that I talk about with my therapist. We call it dropping anchor, where it's like you like take stock of the world around you and like, okay, what can you touch? What can you feel? What can you see? And it's a very real exercise that can help you kind of come down a little bit from a panic attack. And that's something that I've never seen before in a fictional medium, or at least I've never seen it handled so well in a comic book or any fiction. Again, any fictional medium. Um, at least, not, again, not that I've seen in my own personal experience. So to have that in a webtoons Batman comic of all things is really good. And I think, something like that being so accessible to people, I think will kind of open the door to those who may struggle with anxiety and stuff, and help um, kind of open the topic of conversation when it comes to anxiety a little bit more. I think anytime that we can, as a society, like open the door, open the floodgates to, I don't think floodgates is the right is the right door you want to be opening, but like open the conversation to talking about mental health, anxiety, whatever, past traumas, whatever. Like, not that I'm saying I want us to go out there and trauma dump by any means, but like when we can open the door and kind of take the stigma away from certain things, I think that helps people heal, and that helps people grow and learn. And I know, some of you might be thinking like, Dave, it's not that deep. It's a Batman comic, which, to be fair, you might be right. But at the same time, like, it felt very cool to be like reading that, I mean, it wasn't cool. I wasn't sitting there being like, oh, panic attack, this is awesome. But like, I was thinking like, wow, I'm actually sitting here reading a very real interpretation of a panic attack, and it feels like not tacky. It feels like it was well researched and like done in good faith. This feels good. This feels like a step in the right direction. So I know I went on a tangent about that specific thing, but that was just one episode and one storyline out of the many that I've read so far that have really stuck with me. So yeah, this video was a little bit shorter. I feel like I hope I kind of said some good stuff. But yeah, if you guys at all are on Webtoons, or like me and you're not, this might be a great way to get you into it. Batman Wayne Family Adventures, great. I all the credit. Unfortunately, I don't have their names on the top of off the top of my head, so I apologize for that. But every bit of credit to the creators. The writing, the art is amazing. The usage of the Batman characters is really well done. Like I said, there are characters that I've never even heard of before. So it's been a fun introduction into those characters. And it's just well written. It's really fun, and I would definitely give it a read. If you're looking for something to read, if you're trying to save some money, not wanting to buy anything new, but you still want something new to read, give it a shot. It's really fun, and I've been blasting through these. Again, they're very simple and quick, but even so, I've read, like, I'm at, I think, episode 100, and it's been like less than a week, which maybe isn't that impressive, but for me it is, because I'm a very slow reader. But anyway, yeah, I'm just reiterating myself. Batman Wayne Family Adventures on Webtoons, highly recommend it. Give it a look-see. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. If you guys have anything else you would like to say about this one, let me know, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.